YouTube yodelers. Beautiful day out here. I just seeded this lawn here. We used to have trees. It's my pole barn there, and I'm sitting in the garden shed I built with some deer antlers and wood. Yeah, I'm just seeding that so I can add the lawn. We had a couple big trees there. Smoking a cigar as always, but I'm gonna give you a bracelet update. So I went to Royal Dubai Jewelers and I picked this up. I don't even want to tell you how much this cost because it was not cheap. But I replaced the other one that I wasn't very happy about, and added $4,500 to that order to get this one. This is 51, or just over, I think it's 52 grams, 52.5 or something like that, plus the jewelry making fee. So you can do the math on that. This ain't cheap, but I'm happy with it. It is solid, unlike the other one, which was hollow. It's heavy. It's got a good weight, a nice clasp there. I might actually add a rung to it because it is only 8 inches and my wrist's like 8.5, so the clasp is pretty tight. But I am very happy with this. I would take it off, but as I said, the clasp is tight, so it's hard to put back on. But it's a hefty bracelet. The other one was just a little bit, I don't know how to say it. Like, it seemed like a little bit like rapper blingish. Like from a distance, it looked heavy and kind of gangster, but when you got close, you could see that it was hollow. So I don't like that fakeness. I want something real. And plus, something that's solid like this is going to last longer. It can be worn every day. Some of those hollow, bracelets or necklaces that aren't solid, they can damage quite a bit easier with how soft gold is. Plus, this one's 22 karat. The markings inside there, I'm not going to flip it over, but because I can't, because it's hard to get on and off. As I said, I'm going to add, this is going to be probably closer to 55 plus grams once I add a link in it. But yeah, it's just solid and just probably won't have as much ability to break or wear down because 22K is soft. The last one was, in the previous video, was 21K. I still have the one that my buddy All Mask got. That's kind of my daily wearer. I love that one that he gave me. That one's 11 grams, so obviously less weight than this, but it's a nice diamond cut one, so I really love that one. But it's nice to have two, and as I said, I'm gonna get a third to pass on so each kid can have one. My oldest will get the one with the most gold, but I'll make it all even in the end. The other ones will get coins or something else to make up for it. So it is weird because this is now my heaviest piece of gold. My next heaviest would be the 37.5 grand Mexican peso, and then after that it's just 1 ounce. So this being, and a troy ounce is 31.1 grams, so this being 52.5 grams ish, and I'm going to add to it. This is actually my biggest piece of gold, even though it's only 22K like the American Eagle and the Krugerrand. It's my biggest piece of gold. So bigger than my gold nugget, bigger than my watches in weight, my gold watches in weight. So, and purity. Actually, I do have one 22K gold watch, but this is nice. The watches that are gold are a bit of a vintage piece, so I don't wear them every day. I love watches, so I like to rotate them. But it's nice to have a solid piece of gold every day. If I was to carry a maple or eagle in my pocket, I'm not going to look at it all day, and I'd have to pull it out, and I risk losing it. This clasp's pretty solid. Not saying this can't be lost, but it's nice to be able to glance down and see a little gold, especially if you're like me and you have gold fever. And also a piece like this you can pair with casual to dress up, and like a nice watch. I think having a nice bracelet that's gold is a good thing for anyone to have, but especially it's good for a man to have one of these pieces. I think it could just be myself convincing myself about how much money I spent on this. As I said, I traded in the other one. The other one was, after taxes, $5,800 $176, and I added 4,500. And because I went to the store, the first one I ordered online, I went to the store. It was like 3 hours to get there, but it was worth it because I went to the store. They didn't charge me tax, so I'd be in the I would have paid an extra $500 on top of that. So you do the math. We're looking at, so I paid about $10,500 for this, and if I had paid taxes, it'd be close to $11,000. So because it's $22K, not $24. In Canada, you pay tax on anything that's not $24. But as I said, this is going to be another family heirloom like the one my buddy Elmas got me, and passed down to the kids. So I will get one more. Probably won't be as big as this. So what I'm thinking is my oldest is going to get this one, the biggest one. My middle child will get one probably that's, maybe 30, 32 grams. And then my youngest will get the one my buddy Elmas got me from India. So they'll each have a piece that Daddy wore, and it's nice to be able to switch these out. So I've been wearing the one my buddy Elmas gave me since he gave it to me pretty much every day. Gotten some good compliments on it because it's diamond cut and the light hits it so nicely. This one's more muted. Haven't got any compliments on this yet, but as I said, I just got it yesterday, and I'm not wearing it to get compliments, but it is nice when someone compliments you on a piece. So Royal Dubai Jewelers, it was an interesting experience, I'll put it that way. Their customer service is not great, but I do appreciate it. Might be a cultural thing because it is, I believe the store is Middle Eastern / Indian owned, so maybe there's a cultural thing with customer service there. I don't know. I'm not Middle Eastern or Indian, so I can't say. But and it could have been a language barrier as well. So, but she was nice. She threw in a pair of nail clippers, which was interesting. They had a whole bunch of nail clippers they were giving away again. Maybe that's a cultural thing. And taking the tax off was good. But I have asked a few questions about this because I have the direct line for the person who helped me. And they just don't respond. I know they're busy in there, but it is nice to get a response. The other thing I wanted to talk about, it was on the tip of my mind. Yeah, that store was interesting. I can't remember what it was. I wanted to talk about something else, but yeah, I'm very pleased with this. It's important to get something you like, especially if you're spending this amount of money. You want to make sure you get something that you like and that you're going to wear, and that is the style that fits you. And this just kind of works with my style here. And I wear it on my left hand because it's easier to utilize my right hand to take it on and off. And I'll see if I add another link. I kind of have to. It's kind of, you can tell it's really tight on my wrist here. I can barely move it at all. It's leaving kind of a red mark because it's pinching the skin a bit. But I am going to add another link and just see if someone can make that and add that. So that's going to add value and weight to this piece as well. So I'll get back to you on that. I know I always talk bullion on this channel, but it is kind of fun to wear wealth. I personally don't like wearing necklaces or jewelry too much. I am married and I have a gold ring from that, and I don't wear that because I find it a bit claustrophobic on my fingers. I also have the coin ring I've shown in other videos and another family signet ring, which are both gold. I just don't wear them. I find that they bother me. They bother my hands. I got fat sausage fingers, and it's just uncomfortable. Necklaces can get tangled up, and I don't like the weight of a gold chain on my neck. So as a watch guy, I'm used to wearing things on my wrist, so this made the most sense to me. On top of that, if you were to get a bracelet, a necklace in this style, you're probably looking closer to $22,000 plus because of the added links and weight. Those are going. They did have them. They're about 118, 120 grams. So yeah, it's around 23,000 after the jewelry maker fee. So it's more affordable to have this. Plus, if it's around my neck, I can't really see it. Whereas if it's on my wrist, I can see it. So, yes, I know some of you bullion guys are going to say, well, that was stupid. You could have bought, over 2 ounces. I could have got over 2 ounces of gold, maybe a maple and an eagle and a half ounce, the amount I paid for this. But it's my money, and I chose to utilize it this way. I have, I'm getting close to 50 ounces of gold, so this changes it up a bit. And ironically, is my heaviest piece of gold that I own. I do not count this in my ounce count, though, at all. I don't count any jewelry in that. It's strictly bullion. I don't count like Royal Canadian Mint, numismatic coins in that. It's literally just my bullion that I'm counting. So this is not going to go towards my goal, even though it's over 1.5 ounces of gold. I'm not putting that towards my goal. I am eyeing up another maple, either with King Charles or Australian kangaroo, 1 ounce to add to the stack. So yeah, just wanted to give you a rant and ramble on this, and I'm finally happy. I'm a picky motherfucker, but it's better to be happy with what you want than settle for something you don't, and that includes marriage. See you in the next one.